Hello. It's good to see you again, or good to be with you anyway, as I have some thoughts to share about kindness today, because I think kindness really matters in our world in lots of different kinds of ways. I want to begin, of course, as I do every time, by reminding you of something I need you to hear. I want you to hear it deeply. If you can close your eyes while you listen to these words, but I want them to be something you hear deeply inside and recognize the truth in the words themselves. And they are these words: You are infinitely precious and unconditionally loved for the person, the gift you already are. Can you hear that? Can you hear that deep within? You are infinitely precious. You are unconditionally loved for the person, the gift you already are. Now you may hear them and think, oh, he's just being kind. And indeed, I am being kind, but I'm being truthful as well. And that kindness can shape the way you feel about yourself and the way you feel about the world. So I want to invite you to practice kindness. I want to invite you, first of all, to practice kindness with yourself. So often in our lives, we are quick to be our most intensive critic. We can find ways to be critical of the way we look today, the way we dress today, how long or short our hair is, how big or small we are, how good our grades are. Any number of things allow us to beat ourselves up. What would it look like if, as you catch yourself about to beat yourself up, you instead said, I really did my best on that. Or, I actually look okay. I like the way I look. I like who I am. I like the way I think. Can you find kind words to speak to yourself and mean them? To counteract and to speak over top of the one inside you who is so intent on criticizing you. The one inside you who's intent on criticizing you probably was embarrassed at some point in some way and wants you to avoid being embarrassed by someone else, and so embarrasses you for yourself. Or perhaps you've internalized a message from someone else that you're not good enough, which is a lie. And your inner critic just goes along with that. The second practice is to be kind to others. It can be the simplest way. This summer, I had the opportunity to work with all sorts of beautiful young adults, beautiful hearts and giftedness through Appalachia Service Project. And at the end of the summer, during what's called wrap up, we gather back on a great big porch. And they, to a person, were all very, very kind to me. But two people in particular I'm going to call out, that doesn't minimize anybody else who's ever been kind to me. But Kristen and Meredith were on the porch with me, and they were making bracelets. And they made me this bracelet. You might be able to read, no, my name is not Paul. It is I-P-A-U-L. It looks like I-Paul, but it stands for infinitely precious and unconditionally loved. Now, I wear this bracelet every day with all its beautiful colors and all its array, and it reminds me to be kind to myself, that I am infinitely precious and unconditionally loved as the person, the gift I already am. It's a reminder that Meredith and Kristen put on my wrist and that I wear as a reminder of kindness. It helps me to be kind to myself, but it also reminds me that it's the simple things in everyday life the kind word that you exchange with a neighbor, the kind word you exchange with someone in the grocery store or when you're shopping somewhere, the kind word you share with someone who you meet on the street or that you know very well. And I want to encourage you to practice that kindness even when someone may be less than kind to you. What would it look like if you were kind anyway? Practice being kind because it does change the flavor of a person's life. It might just be that moment, but that may be the moment they most need a word of kindness. And you did it. It might be in that moment that a person needs to be reminded of their own infinite preciousness and unconditional love, that they are gifted a bracelet by two folks who just happen to be sitting in rocking chairs, making bracelets, and make one. You never know how far your act of kindness reaches, but it sets in motion a set of ripples. So today, be kind to yourself. Don't yell at the inner critic when the inner critic tries to tell you you're not good enough. Just say, critic, I don't have to listen to that. I think you're mistaken because I am okay. I am okay. Take a seat for a while and let someone else speak. And you can be kind to others, even those who challenge you and who may not feel like they're being kind to you, but be kind anyway. I think that will make a difference in the world in which we live. Remember always, you are infinitely precious and unconditionally loved, and I hope you'll have a great day.